Welcome to Prep for the Prince with me, Jazz Ellis, teaching you how to prepare for marriage as a Christian woman, whether you are single, dating, or engaged. So much goes into preparing for your future husband and learning how to be a wife God's way. Here's to preparing for happily ever after by learning how to prepare to be a wife while single, all things godly wife preparation while dating, and preparing to be a Christian wife throughout your engagement season. Let's get you prepped for Prince Charming. I'm cheering you on as your life story and your love story unfold. This episode is going to be so special and meaningful because this is an interview that I did with my grandparents just 8 months before my grandma went to heaven. And I had this interview from several years ago that I was going to share on this day. I had it scheduled on my content calendar, and here it is going to be premiering on the day of my grandpa's visitation, as he just went to heaven a few days ago and the day before his funeral. So this takes on a whole new meaning for me because I'm so grateful I was able to sit down with them and ask them the questions that not only did I want to know, but that I want all of you to know. I'm so grateful that they shared their wisdom. So please take this seriously, ladies, and get your notebook out and write down these golden pieces of advice on how to have a healthy, thriving marriage of 67 years. That's how long they were married. I know that we can hardly even comprehend being married 67 years. And they really were just a part of each other. And I really hope that you take this to heart, whether you are engaged, dating, or single and hoping for a marriage like theirs. So I wanted to honor them by sharing their interview as the first interview on this podcast. However, I am just kind of in disbelief that I had this all scheduled out months in advance. And here it is, premiering the day of my grandpa's visitation and the day before his funeral. So anyway, I just hope you enjoy this episode and take their wisdom to heart. They are speaking to you from 67 years of a successful, healthy marriage. So whether you are soon to be married or you are praying to be married, this advice, there is so much you can learn from them. And if you've ever wanted to sit down with a couple and ask them the questions, the secrets to a healthy marriage, this is that interview. So sit back and relax and enjoy it. And I'm so grateful that I get to honor my grandparents by their interview getting to be the very first interview for this podcast. I am with my grandparents, Elton and Leoma, and let's get this interview started. I'm so excited about this, and thank you to both of you for being willing to do this.
Sure.
I've got a lot of wisdom and advice, so I've got my questions on my phone, and we'll go through them. It'll be really fun. I mean, 66, almost 67 years of marriage. You've got a lot of wisdom and advice to share. That's a very long, healthy marriage that people only dream about having. So I just answered this first question, but I want to hear it from you. How long have you guys been married?
67 years.
No, it's going to be in April.
Yeah, we're practically there, though.
Practically there. That's right. By the time this video premieres, it might be getting close.
Right.
So 66, almost 67 years. That's amazing. And then, how old were you when you got married?
I was 20, just about 21.
20?
I was 25.
20 and 25. All right. So those were the easy questions. So I know you guys have been married for a long time. So I know we're going to be taking our memories back to when you were dating.
Oh, joy.
But what are the most important qualities to look for in a potential spouse or someone you're dating? Like, what qualities do you think make somebody a good spouse?
I'd say honesty is probably the top of the list.
Honesty is so important. But the qualities that you saw in Grandpa that you were like, oh yeah, I want to marry this guy. What were those qualities? Was
That's simple. He was good looking.
Good looking, yes.
And then
Deeper
also
cock.
if you both have the same Christian outlook on life, it helps too.
Yes. That's so important.
Because something, you can't solve everything yourself, it seems like. So
You need God at the center of any relationship. Absolutely. All right. So this is open-ended, whoever wants to start. What are the keys to a long, successful, healthy marriage of almost 67 years like your guys's?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd say whatever you say.
Whatever you
It'll
say,
be all
honey.
right. Yeah, those kind of things.
What you said earlier with having Jesus at the center of your marriage, I'm sure that's the biggest tip, right?
Sure.
Because you've spent your whole lives going to church together, correct?
Yeah.
Bible studies.
Oh, since we're married. Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys read the Bible together? Do you listen to the Bible? Do you do
We-
devotionals?
We have devotions in the morning usually.
God's at the center of your marriage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes, that's important.
Sometimes go to Bible class twice a week
Yeah,
at church on Sunday and during the week.
that's
We
great.
miss it, really.
It's important. Grandpa, what makes a guy a good husband?
Respect your wife. I think so. Be one of the main things.
Yeah.
I mean, she's an individual and she has her own ideas too. Sometimes they don't always correspond with yours, but
Okay.
there's usually two sides to every story.
Respect is big. So, Grandma, what would be your advice to wives out there or single girls that are hoping to be married someday? What would make them a really good wife?
Listening.
Listening.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah,
tip. To be a
right.
good wife, listen. Listen to your husband.
You can usually hear more than you think.
Yeah, because you can hear their heart
Yeah,
with what
all
they're
kinds
saying.
of
That's good.
little tricks.
That's why you have two ears and just one mouth.
Bingo. That's right. God knew what he was doing when he
Being
he
married's
made us.
fun, really. You
Aw.
change.
You change over as the
Mhm.
years progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. If you think back to all the married couples you've met throughout your lifetime, what do you think would be the most common challenges that people face in marriage and in staying married? Is it like finances? Is it communication problems? Is it not having Jesus at the center enough? Could be outside influences of family members or friends.
I think you have to know that you've married more than one person. You've kind of married a family.
The families.
Yeah,
You married into a
'cause
family.
There's a lot more.
Those
that-
family dynamics.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
You gain a lot, but yet there's a lot of lessons there. Most of them, well, I grew up with 5 sisters. I had no idea I was kind of naive about guys,
Yeah.
you might say. Then you marry one.
You learn a lot.
Yeah. It's like, okay, wow. Then there's in-laws and there's
Yeah.
mother-in-law, father-in-law, sisters-in-law, brother-in-laws. And they all have their lives, so you
Yeah.
have to respect each other.
Yeah. So learning all the family dynamics and personalities. Grandpa, do you think you've seen any trends and challenges through marriages?
Well, I think now it's a little different. I mean, people, they used to be in one spot and they sort of sat there, and now they're so mobile, they go all over the world.
Okay. So
and
yeah.
and their jobs also take them. And I don't think it's good for a marriage to have the man one place and the wife another place. Why?
Where it's just hard to
Yeah, they
get
should-
that time together.
Yeah, they should be together.
Yeah. Yeah, you've seen a lot of marriages, so you would know. How is marriage different in the first couple years of being married versus now being married 66 years?
There's a difference? Yeah,
no.
there is. Sorry. So let's see, what's different? I guess I used to think, oh, I guess he knows best. But now I kind of think, oh, we could change that. You know, maybe My way would work too. Takes a while to do any changing, and
So you're more comfortable now sharing your opinion, where in the first couple of years you maybe were like, whatever Grandpa wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very.
Yeah, when you're first married, where you're a little hesitant on stating your opinion on something or how
sharing
you want
your
things
feelings.
done. Yeah,
Okay.
We never heard of a word of divorce.
no.
No.
I mean, that never crossed our mind that it wasn't forever.
You
know?
knew when you got married
Yeah.
that you'd be together forever.
Well, we didn't know 66 years.
Oh, we didn't know I was going to live that long. But
66 and counting. It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot more.
You just don't know, but you do not want to give up.
Right.
I mean, if there's an abrupt problem, it'll go away, or else talk to somebody about it.
Life isn't always a bed of roses.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always find somebody who has it better than you do.
Or worse.
Or worse, yeah, same way.
Yeah, to not give up, to make sure you endure through the hard times and really enjoy the good times.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Is it cool knowing that you guys would have each other by your side throughout the good times and the bad times for 66 years?
Cool, yeah. That's
Couldn't
more
get
than,
along without her now.
Yeah.
I don't know, cool's a little weak. It's terrific, really.
Terrific.
Yeah.
We love getting to experience life together, whether it's something challenging or something amazing. Like, you always get to know you're going to share it with your best friend.
It's always something new.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So in your opinion, what is the best thing about marriage? What's your favorite thing about marriage?
Having kids.
Aww. And
Yeah.
tell everybody how many kids you had.
We have 4. You do your best, and they're really a joy.
The kids are a joy.
Oh, yeah, grandkids are very special.
Yeah.
Joy, too.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
you got more time with your grandkids than you had with your own.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Usually when you
guys
your
are
own
busy.
children, while you're busy and you don't take the time. I mean, they have their activities and stuff which you take part of, but that's about it, you know.
I was pretty naive. I didn't know you could teach as much as you could. In the first 2 years, I just thought, oh, they'll grow. You know, you just feed them and love them and change their clothes, everything. But my goodness, now that they talk about everything.
Well, now they send them to school and they're 2 years old or 3 years old.
Preschool? I know, it's so different,
Because
right?
they're supposed to learn more. Well,
Oh.
we didn't worry about that until.
We didn't even go to kindergarten, so.
No.
Yeah, it's so different. So, Grandpa, what is, in your opinion, the best thing about marriage?
Having somebody on call all the time.
On call. Your helper, right?
Yeah.
As the Bible
Yeah.
says, your
Yeah.
helpmate. Is there something you learned about yourself through being married that you didn't know about yourself when you were single?
As soon as you get married, you got a lot of problems to.
Like life.
Yeah. You have
Life
to take,
happens.
You have to take
And
time
then,
out
and then
to.
babies come along too. You know?
And more responsibilities. What was your favorite type of date?
Dancing.
Dancing was your favorite
Right.
date?
I suppose, yeah.
Do you have advice for, like James and I, like newly married couples?
Well, keep doing what you're doing for sure.
Yeah.
You look happy.
Yes.
And you
Enjoy one another.
Yeah.
Enjoy one another.
And you don't sit still. You're always going somewhere, so
Guilty
that
of
might
that.
help.
To take time to actually enjoy each other.
Yeah.
Not work all the time.
Yeah.
Now you can have work be a real. We probably did a lot of that when we should have taken a break from it, but it was so different. Didn't have a lot of money either. Learned to save some. Yeah.
If you could go back in time, is there anything you wish you could tell yourself about love or marriage that you wish you would have known when you were young? Like, it would have made your marriage that much better or that much easier if you would have known this piece of advice.
Well, I just kind of remember that. I don't know if this will answer your question, but I wish somehow we had learned to really enjoy every day.
So, Grandpa, what is your favorite thing about Grandma?
Ooh.
Well, she's got a lot of patience and she's a good cook.
A lot of patience and a good
Yeah.
cook.
I always believed the way to a man's heart was through his stomach.
I got something to work on then.
Well, you could always tell when you took seconds
Aw.
that it was good. So
You are an amazing cook.
Well, I like it, but it's only because somebody likes to eat it. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
there's a thing
You
that
see,
goes back and forth.
I do a pretty good job.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Grandma, what is your favorite thing about Grandpa?
Well, he's still good looking,
Yes.
and he's my best friend of any friends, and he's a good provider. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, there's things I want, but I don't have to have them. So if I told him I really needed it, I'd probably get it. And he's a man of faith.
Yes.
That's never wavered. I always knew that there was strength there. And I don't know, he likes people,
Yeah.
gets along very well with people. My family just fell in love with him.
Yes.
I had 5 sisters that were younger than I, and they just thought he was
Amazing.
something else. And anyway,
Aw.
I noticed it later on, it was everybody.
So, do you guys believe in love at first sight?
I suppose sometimes, but I don't think so,
Yeah.
really. I think you got to sort of
Get to know the person.
look into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes you're a little reckless and you think it's love.
Yeah.
But
It's like infatuation instead of actual love.
yeah, you have to learn to. I don't know about love at first sight. You know that there's something about that person you don't want to lose.
Yeah. How soon into dating do you guys think that you knew that you wanted to marry each other?
Well, I did spend a little time looking around.
Yeah.
And Grandma won.
She was sort of what I wanted, I guess.
Yeah.
Must have been something about me.
Did your family's opinions matter about each other when you introduced each other to your families?
Well, I think they both sort of okay.
Yeah. Did you enjoy planning your wedding?
And planning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had fun.
It wasn't
It wasn't
an
stressful.
enormous thing or
Yeah.
anything.
It-
We had to decorate after the
They weren't
breakfast.
as big as they are now.
Oh, no.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, what's the story of how you guys met? How you met is a big part of this love story, so
Well, I was used to, there was a dance pavilion in the town where I lived, and I was pretty much at home there. A couple girlfriends and I wouldn't miss any dance that was there. It was open house for, you could come in and dance, or you could leave when you wanted to, and it didn't cost you anything and all that. And he did about the same thing, I think. He'd come to Pierce for dances.
who asked each other to dance?
Well, the man always asked them.
Grandpa asked Grandma to dance. All right.
He was there. I don't think that evening you had anybody with him, though. I don't know how you were down there, but he went by himself too, I think. Sometimes he was with somebody. This time he wasn't. And then he asked me to dance, and I thought, well, I just thought this was a look on for the rest of my life. And so we danced, and I think that was it for that night, because I don't know, I just probably got out there myself. But then he called. I always had evening jobs after my work hours.
I called and she was busy writing
Yeah.
checks.
Yeah, my mother told him what I was doing. I said, you should never have told him. You should have left him just wonder. And anyway, then that was that. I think you left then for the service. You went back. You were kind of leave then, I think.
I think it was a home leave or something.
Yeah. So then I had a couple letters after that.
Tell everybody how you served, where you were serving at San Diego.
Where were you?
I was in Santa Ana, California.
With the Marines.
Marine Corps.
For how long?
2 years.
All right. And
Well,
you
I
wrote some
started out.
letters.
I started out in San Diego first for 8 weeks, and then Then I went up to Santa Ana.
And you wrote letters to Grandma during that time?
I had a couple.
A couple, but just sort of the tail end.
Okay.
Wanted to make sure I was paying attention, I guess.
So then what was it like when you came back from California? What was that being reunited like?
Well, it was just good to get back.
Yeah.
There wasn't any stalling. We were just to see each other
Yeah.
Yes.
forever, it seemed like.
So then how did it progress from Grandpa coming back to getting engaged? What was that timeline like?
I don't know. We were at a dance one night and I thought, oh my gosh, what's wrong with him? He's acting differently. And he had the ring in his pocket the whole night long.
At the dance?
Yes.
Oh.
And I didn't ask any questions like, you want to go home early or something wrong? I didn't say anything.
You were just observing?
Yeah. And so we were at my parents' home and sitting on the davenport. And he took it out of his pocket.
Oh.
And there we were.
Were you nervous to propose?
Oh, I think so.
There was something wrong, that's for sure.
It cost the whole $175.
$175.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Grandpa knew that you were the one.
I guess.
Did you cry when he asked you? You remember?
I woke my parents up and my dad said, what's this all about?
So how long was it from when Grandpa proposed until your wedding? Do you know how many months that was?
It was December 7th. Well, it's either December 6th or 7th because it was midnight
It was
for
so
sure.
late?
Yeah, it was midnight for sure. I think it's probably the 7th,
Yeah,
really.
we got married in April, so
Yeah.
4 months.
Oh my
Everybody
goodness.
wanted to know what the rush was, and I tell you, they had me
I've been
wondering.
waiting for 25 years to get married, and why wait around anymore?
We go to church and get married, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And the minister, he said in the sermon, he said, "It's a beautiful day to get married, and it's Easter, and it's the start of new things." And I thought that was very fitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so we just picked up from there and let
kept on
everything
going.
develop.
It's the start of your whole life together from
Uh-huh.
that point on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a lot of music, a lot of faith hymns.
Okay.
It's been quite a ride.
quite a ride.
Quite a ride. Yeah.
Yes. So
60
It's a
some
good
years.
trip. I'd do it again, though.
you'd do it again.
I'd
You'd
do it
repeat. You'd do your marriage all over again.
Yep.
You know you chose the right one, didn't
Yep.
you?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But we knew. So
No, you
that's what we
know.
did. Yeah.
You know. Do you believe in the one? You think there's a right person for you?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes things come into people's lives, though, that, they have to choose the second one. I mean, there's a death, and nobody wants to be a widower or a widow the rest of your life. So I think it always stays with you, though, whoever you marry after an event like that. They have to be understanding,
Yeah, that's a
because
lot.
there's a heart and there's a broken heart, and it heals again.
Hmm.
So whatever.
Well, you've sure been blessed with an amazing 66 years.
Well, you've blessed us.
Oh, you've blessed me.
Yes, and then you have your husband.
I know.
It's a beautiful
I know.
relationship you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One more question. Do you believe in happily ever afters? You found your prince. He found his princess.
We are
Well,
living
it wasn't-
happily
it
ever
wasn't
after, aren't
always
we?
It
happy.
wasn't always happy.
Oh no, I don't know.
But you've made a huge impression on all of us, and you've shown all of us what marriage means till death do you part. And I think,
We're told that by a lot of people.
yeah.
And I think, why is it so strange? I mean,
Why do you think it is so strange?
I don't
Why
know.
is it so uncommon today?
I don't know.
We
Why?
just didn't think there was any alternative, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
Unless you had to die to get out of it.
TV has ruined a lot of
Mm,
stuff. I'm all for the world changing and all, but there's so much nothing real on there. There's a lot of fooling around. I mean, it's with people and families and sex especially. That is way out of line. That's a God-given gift.
yeah.
And it's not used that way. It's for a family to be created, really.
Right. Culture has perverted
I know,
what
yeah.
God meant.
So I kind of feel sorry for kids.
Yeah.
Right now and in the future. It's really mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
What it's going to take to straighten it out, but there are good people who are going to hang in there.
Yeah.
You know.
I love what you said, though, how you got married knowing that this was permanent, that there wasn't any thought of divorce in your mind. Like, you knew that you were in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
And that's very rare to find in a
I
lot
would have
of
left
cases.
and think anything else. Sorry.
There's a lot of couples out there that do fight once in a while. What's your best advice?
We've had fights too.
Right. So what's your best advice for getting through that fight and not separating, but letting that draw you closer together? Cool off a little bit?
Probably didn't communicate well enough, but, you know, there's some people it takes a lot of words and other people it's one sentence maybe. And it says a whole lot.
I don't think we ever did have a shouting match. I mean,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for letting me interview you. 66 years and counting.
Yeah, I asked
of
Alan this
marriage.
morning, and before we were even out of bed, I said, "Have you ever multiplied 66 by 365?" And I
Let's
never
do
have.
it. Let's do it.
That's a lot of days.
Oh my. Well, technically, it's
Oh,
more than
really?
that because you're almost at 67.
Yeah.
But we'll do 66
Okay.
times 365 days. And that means you've been together 24,090 days of marriage.
Is that all? I thought it was a million.
A million days of
What was that? What was
24,000.
Really?
I love you guys, and thank you for setting an amazing example.
You're welcome.
Your marriage is precious. And
Oh, you're
thank you
sweet.
for
You guys
showing
are
us
too.
what to do.
We don't know what
We
we'd do
love
without
you.
you.
And you made
We
us say
love
that
you.
we still love each other.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
how about that?
Are you more in love today than you were on your wedding day?
different love.
A different love.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a comparison to first love in 66 years.
Just that.
It's all okay though.
all those memories you've had together.
Now I'm all good. I mean, there's been a lot of tragedies
Yeah.
in our life.
But all those tragedies and good times,
Yeah.
like having that one person with you the entire time.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
strong type of love.
You're right.
Well, thank you guys. I love
You're
you. If you enjoyed this today, would you please take a second and give this podcast a 5-star rating or give this video a like? This will let me know that you're enjoying this content and that it's helping you. And would you also become a subscriber? This lets me know that you're looking forward to more content like this. Feel free to also check out my other podcast called My Royal Reality. Lastly, be sure to share this with a friend who would also benefit from hearing it. I really appreciate your support, and I'm cheering you on as your life story and love story unfold.